Hey there, fellas. How's it going? Hope you're all well. So, thanks for joining in today. And this is gonna be my final Anthem demo video where I'm just gonna give you guys my final views on the game and what I think about it overall. Not just from a gameplay perspective, but maybe the longevity of the game as well. So, strap in and get ready for some Iron Man destruction type looking gameplay reviews type thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna do a Tyrant Mine. So I mean, it doesn't really take long to load anyway. It's a few things really I want to talk about the game, to be honest with you. I mean, fucking list.
I like to learn on the go.
Right, guys. So there's a few things I want to talk about with this game, really. I mean, there's a few things. I made a list, you know. I made a freaking list just to remember that all the things I even want to talk about. So first of all, right, this might not seem like a big thing these days. I mean, to some people anyway. But the visuals, right? Now, the first thing that you see in this game is the visuals. They look. If I was to show you this game, the demo, and it's the first time you saw this game, you would think, wow, right? Like the clouds, like over there, the textures of, you know, of the surfaces, the amount of foliage there is, like grasses and leaves and all these things, right? And just the suit itself, it looks pretty cool, right? Right, the music is just too loud. This is just ridiculous. I can't even hear myself think. Like, seriously. I'm just gonna turn the music down as well, actually. Turn the sound effects down that much. Now we'll leave this. Right, so, anyways. Sorry about that, guys. I was just doing a bit of checking the volume's not too loud of the gameplay. So yeah, as I was saying, you don't necessarily know. I mean, you don't really notice. You think the graphics are pretty good, right? Now, if you compare the E3 reveal to the graphics of now, like the way it's been released, there's a big difference. They've literally downgraded the graphics so much that it doesn't even look like the same game anymore. If you guys watch the E3 reveal, you will know what I mean. And I feel like developers are doing that nowadays a lot more. I mean, Ubisoft did that with The Division as well. And I don't really understand why. If this is the product and this is what you're going to be making, then just show this. Because if the game is good, people will like it. So I don't feel like the developers need to, you know, make it look like a game that it's not, or try and make the game to stand out. I mean, I know it's highly competitive these days, and when you show things off at certain conferences, you want it to be the best version of it. So maybe that's one of the things. Maybe that's why they do it. I don't really know. But I don't think it's necessary, you know, because it's kind of misleading people. They expect something different when they actually play the game, and it's not the same thing that they thought it would be. So I feel like they shouldn't do that, because it sets a false expectation of game from the customers then. So that's that. I mean, even then, the game doesn't look bad, you know, at all. The game looks amazing. The world that they've created is just so unique. It literally looks like something out of Avatar. Oh, I died here. I mean, it just looks amazing. So I don't have an issue with the graphics, but I just feel like developers shouldn't do that in the first place. Right. Secondly, the other thing that I want to speak about this game was, let me see my list. The gameplay, right? Honestly, the gameplay is just perfect. When I first saw this game, I was like, the controls are going to be clunky. They might feel a bit sluggish. They're not going to feel responsive. The flying system, how is that going to work? And even the mechanics of the weapons and everything like that. But when you actually play the game, it really doesn't take you long to actually just get right into it and master the controls. There is some sort of mastery involved, but literally, if you play the game, because I started playing the game right in last week when the private demo was out, and I played it for like 2-3 hours, and it's so fluid that it doesn't take long for someone to just pick up the controller, mess around with it, and just get the hang of it. Like, that's how simple it is. You pick up, you fly around, and that's it. Clickety click, and that's how easy it is to fly around, to dodge. Because I thought the flying speed itself would be so fast that it would make the javelin so difficult to control in small areas like this, but it's actually not. To be honest with you, I wish it was a slightly faster, just so I could, you know, dodge enemy bullets and stuff. But I guess that would be a bit unbalanced then. So yeah, I mean, the movement system is so fluid and it's so quick and responsive that I'm really glad. It actually feels really fun, and it's something unique, you know. Like, I've not really seen this in any other game, apart from Just Cause, I guess. I mean, in Just Cause you get to fly around with the wingsuit, but you know, this is with mechs, and the mechs look pretty cool as well. So yeah, that's one thing I like about it. And it is a, you know, a loot-based game, kind of an RPG. I don't know, maybe like you have quests and all those kind of things. My God, I'm getting wrecked over here. What are these things? Where's my teammates? I'm gonna get out of here. Anyways, that's not even the main mission. We just need to get the right. So this is actually one of the tyrant mines, which I'm doing. I think these are like dungeons, kind of, you know, big long missions that you do. Anyways, back to the gameplay. So the gameplay involves pretty much, you know, it's a third-person shooter. You control javelins, you fly around, you shoot. You have two weapons. You have a primary and secondary that you can equip. And the weapons range from light machine guns to grenade launchers to pistols to sniper rifles, shotguns. There's a lot of variety, and each weapon has its own ranking as well. So the ranking obviously comes from its level. So, and they're ranked with colors. So the most common ones are brown. And the most, oh my God, I died again. And the most rare ones are purple. So that's how that works. And each time you do a mission, or you just get them through random drops. I don't know if you can buy them. I know there's a crafting system in the game, but I'm not sure if you can actually buy them from vendors or anything like that. And I don't. As far as I know, there's no trading between players online. And the game is always online. Like, you will just come across people online as you are roaming around in the world. So yeah, that's the weapon system. You have little secondary fires as well. So for example, my Javelin the Ranger, he's got his grenade and he's got his rocket launcher, and each Javelin has its own sort of secondary, and you can also customize those. What I mean by that is that you can get new ones, higher power ones, with better qualities. So yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement, you could say. Right, I'm gonna overheat. That's one thing I hope you can upgrade. I don't know if you can, but as you can see, there's a white bar just under the javelin. As you fly, it increases and it overheats. And if it overheats too much, you pretty much just fall to the ground. So I just hope maybe that they can, you can get like a drop or like an upgrade, which lets you increase that time, because that will be really helpful. Let me just read these things. Sure, yeah, that's as far as the weapons go. There's also random events that happen inside the world when you're free roaming. This isn't a random event. This is a dungeon type thing. It's a tyrant mine dungeon type thing. So yeah. Oh, let me just no, don't die, don't die. There we go. 3 out of 8 delivered. So yeah, these ones you pretty much you play with 4, and there is a matchmaking system, so you don't have to worry about being on your own. You will be joined in with a group of 3 others. Even if you're playing on your own, you don't have to worry about finding missions too difficult to complete because there is a matchmaking system. However, the game is best enjoyed with a team if you have 4 people at least. Just because of the way the game works, you will require communication, you know, because some of these missions are really difficult, as you can see, and they require one to communicate amongst the teammates. So yeah, that's that. Right, let me look at my list. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yes, there is a customization option as well. In one of my videos, actually, I've included a customization little show out, like a little walkthrough of just me customizing a javelin. So you can pretty much customize everything. The color of each single area of your javelin, you can choose it. You can you can change the shade. You can get different parts for your javelin, so aesthetically you can customize them. And speaking of aesthetics, that's something I wanted to actually talk about, to be honest with you, because as we all know, who made this game, who's funding it anyway, I don't know how it works, but EA is involved, is definitely the publisher, I think. And with EA, as we know, you know, microtransactions are a big thing in part of their business model or whatever you want to call it. And that's not necessarily always good for players, you know? When like microtransactions have been a big thing like in the past 2 years, right? And no one's really liked them because they just I really don't understand microtransactions. I feel like people make games just so they can, you know, create microtransactions just to make money. And that's kind of what ruins it, really. If there's a good game, you know, and you want to maybe add to the game, but why make a game solely based around microtransactions? And in this game, I heard there was an interview, and I heard that there will be microtransactions and they will only be aesthetics. So it's not going to affect the game's actual gameplay. Like it won't be like a pay-to-win mechanic or anything, I hope. But there will be microtransactions. I don't know how much they will cost, but I read it somewhere that it's going to be up to $20, and that is $20 or maybe £15 in the UK. I don't know, but even then, that's just crazy. Like you should be able to unlock the cool armors or the cool looking colors or shaders or whatever. Like there should be like a mission or a certain challenge that you do and you unlock it. I don't understand why there has to be microtransactions for people to play just to be able to get the best color scheme or new armor set or something. So yeah, it is a service type game, which means that they will be adding new stuff in, new content throughout the year. But that makes me question, like, is it gonna last? I mean, look, we all saw what happened to Destiny. It started out great, but it didn't last long. The second one, I don't think they're even making a Destiny 3 anymore. And Bungie have completely decided to go away from Activision. So that just shows you that even the developers aren't actually happy with some of the marketing strategies or the direction that these big publishers actually want the developers to head in. And it's kind of a good thing, to be honest with you, because now Bungie can actually do what they want and they can create their vision of Destiny and what they want it to be. And to be honest with you, on the surface, this game similarly, it looks amazing, you know? The idea, the design, it just looks crazy. But is it going to be able to pull it off? Is it going to be able to last long? I mean, how long is it going to take for people to just say, okay, you know what, I float around everywhere. I've done all the bosses, I've done all the quests and the caves and dungeons. But how long before people say, okay, just there to the game? How many times do I have to shoot these bad guys, you know? Is this, like, can I even play this game on my own? Is it a single player game, or do I need, you know, 4 people to play with? So all these things are gonna, only time will tell, really, you know? Is it a good game? I mean, that's gonna be up to you to decide, really. I mean, people will like it, same way with Destiny, even with all its faults, people still, you know, love Destiny. So it's gonna be the same thing, to be honest with you. It's just all gonna depend on how you are and if you like view-based games. The main thing for me, or the main question you should ask yourself is this game worth the 100 of hours that you're gonna probably put in grinding out the loot? Oh shit, they locked onto me! So, oh, okay, yes, that was gonna happen. So yeah, like I was saying, you gotta ask yourself, is this game worth me grinding out so many levels just to get this one thing? And is it gonna be worth it? Are you gonna enjoy it? And that's what you have to ask yourself, because Destiny was ultimately a loot-based game as well, and that's what this is. There's not much. I know there's a story mode. There is a campaign, and to be honest with you, when I was playing the demo, I didn't really get much of an idea of what exactly it was. To be honest with you, maybe I'm not sure of how strong the story is, or if the story is going to be able to carry this game. Because the main aspect of this game is the multiplayer section. That's what they heavily focused on. The campaign, people will grind through that within maybe a day or two, and that's it. And then after that, it's going to be the end game. And the end game is pretty much just grinding the levels, grinding the same dungeons at different difficulties. There's different levels that your javelin can go through, and each quest or each mission you can do it at. I know there's like the highest one is Grandmaster, and each time you do that, all it does is it buffs the enemies, give them more life, give them more weapon damage, those kind of things. It doesn't really make the AI any more smarter or anything like that. It just really buffs the enemy stupidly just so you can get more gear. And the higher the difficulty, obviously the more rewards you will get. For example, more XP, higher loot, more chance of getting a rare loot. So those kind of things, and that's pretty much what the difficulty really does. Right, I think I need to take this guy out first. What the fuck? Man, these snipers are sharp. So that's probably one of my biggest concerns with the game. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to last as long as what they're saying it will. But it just looks so good though. Like, I mean, look at it. What other game can you fly around like freaking Iron Man? Jeez. Even this difficulty I'm actually struggling on this difficulty as well. And I'm not sure why. Because this is like normal difficulty as well. I think it's because I only have like 2 teammates with me. Yep, that was gonna happen as well. Right, so guys, I'm gonna talk about the next. So now I will go into free roam and I will show you guys just some of the free roam elements and see what you can do in the free roam as well. Right, guys, just before I head into free roam, I'm gonna show you what I mean about the difficulty setting. So you can see here, right? This is easy, normal, and hard. These are the basic difficulties that you can get. And if you look at the right hand side, that's what happens. That's the result of if you each time you increase the difficulty. So enemy damage is increased and health is increased, but you also get a 100% chance of dropping a rare item. And the same way with this, you get more chance of getting an epic item. However, enemy damage is increased by 700%, which is just stupid. And you only unlock these at level 30. So your pilot level has to be 30, and I think that's like your light level, I think. And then you have your own javelin level as well. I'm not sure how exactly that works. I need to find out. But this is just ridiculous. Like, enemy damage is increased by 3,100%. That's gonna require every single pilot to be on point, like literally on point, knowing their shit of each level, knowing how to use their javelin, and just destroying them. So, however, there's a 250% increased chance of dropping a Master Works, which is probably a higher level of gear. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what you can do. And this is pretty much the map, really. And I think in the whole game you will have access to all of this. I'm not sure if there's any other areas. To be honest with you, I think this is all there is. I don't think there's going to be any more. Maybe in the DLC they said they'll add stuff in, but I don't think so. I think this is the world. I think it's quite small, to be honest with you. I think it's very small. Hey guys, so welcome to the free roam now. So as you can see, what I was saying about the graphical thing, if you compare this image alone, this is on the console by the way, this is the PS4 Pro. If you compare this image, this little section to the E3 reveal, and just the way the javelin looks and the lighting and everything, you will know exactly what I mean. I mean, it's worlds apart. Honestly, it just makes the game look so bad. And this is a section. This is like the little hole thing that they go through, and it's so much bigger. This is so much smaller. So I just don't get why developers even do that. So yeah, I mean, it's back to the game, and if you're gonna like it or if it's a good game, that's really just gonna depend on everyone, really. If you're the kind of person that likes grinding out levels, grinding out dungeons, then yeah, you're gonna love this game, because that's what this game is. This game is a grinder. It's a loot-based game where the aim of the game is to get the best loot, whether that's armor or the weapon level or I don't know, some sort of achievement. And that's what this game is. You will have fun. And if you're the kind of person that gets bored quick, or they're looking for a story-based game, then this is probably not the game for you, because I don't think the main focus of this game isn't the story. The main focus of this game is just the loot and the grind, and the dungeon and the multiplayer aspect of this game. And it is a surface-based game. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I mean, Destiny was a good game, and this is pretty much EA's answer to Destiny, you know? And they're literally pretty much very similar games. There's also a harvesting mechanics where you can harvest materials to craft and all those kind of things. And on here, so let's go and do that. We'll show you guys. It's just one of the world events. So these I think you can do solo as well, but you will just find them more difficult, really. Some of the camera angles I feel like are a bit wonky as well, to be honest with you. When you get too close behind a wall or something, the camera doesn't really know what to do with itself. I think the game is really highly anticipated because it's a new game. Like previously in the last year, all the games that came out were sequels or remakes, but this is like a completely new game. So I think people are really looking forward to it because of that. Whoa, what was that? Some sort of electric shock. So to be honest with you, only time will tell how long this game lasts or whether people like it or not. So far is people are just very excited towards it. For me personally, I don't think the game will be able to hold my attention for that long, just because I really don't like grindy games. I just don't like doing the same bosses or same missions countless times just for better loot. It loses its fun, and at the core, this game is still a third-person shooter, really. And how many times are you gonna shoot the same enemies expecting a different result? And for those reasons, I don't know if this game is gonna be able to hold my attention for that long, or even some people. So that's my main concern with the game, and I think only everyone who buys the game will have to judge. I'm probably gonna hold off on buying the game. I don't even know if I will want to spend so much time, because there's so many games coming out this year. Earlier on in the year as well, and later on as well. That is it really gonna? Do I really want to put that much effort into a game that I'm not really gonna play for so long? You know, so that's my main thing, especially when it's so similar to Destiny, and I got bored of that pretty quick as well. You know, because I played Destiny 1 quite a lot, and then I played Destiny 2, and it was exactly the same thing. And if this is the same sort of concept, then I don't know if it's going to be able to grasp my attention for that long, to be honest with you. And that's my main concern. I mean, the game can have, you know, I mean, a game can have the best graphics ever. It can have, you know, the perfect gameplay, but if there's no substance to the game, you know, there's no reason for me to do this. If it's not fun, if it gets repetitive and boring after me doing it, you know, 100 times, it just isn't even worth it. It just doesn't be fun anymore. Like in the beginning, when you see even the loot system, when you complete a world, you get a treasure, and it's the exact same thing in Destiny. So I just feel like this is a different version of Destiny. I think it's Destiny with a different skin over it, but the core mechanics and the gameplay and the concept is pretty much the same. Do quests, you know, and get better loot, and that's fun. You know, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's fun for a while. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm just saying that for myself because I've done that for so long with Destiny that I just got bored of that same recipe, and I just felt like I wanted something new. And I feel like this game is just not gonna give me that something that I want. So maybe you guys will like it. Some of you might like it. Some of you might not like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, what do you guys think about the game? Whether you're gonna whether you're gonna get it or you're gonna wait, or whether you're not gonna play it at all. But that's pretty much what the game is, really. It's a loot-based grinding game. Look at this guy. This, I mean, the enemies are pretty cool looking as well, to be honest with you. And this is just amazing. I just love doing that. But that's ultimately what the game is, a loot-based grinder. And there's no getting around that, really. The world is amazing. There's a lot of verticality to it. It's a massive open world. But from what I've seen, I mean, just look at these textures as well. They've downgraded the game from the E3 reveal so much that it really doesn't look like the same game anymore. And to be honest with you, I've roamed around the sections in the demo and it looks quite empty, to be honest. Apart from the world events, there's not really much to do. The tyrant mines, or strikes if you want to call them. There's not going to be much to do in the game, and I feel like people will get sick of this game pretty quick. I'm honestly not even saying that. I have nothing against this game, honestly. I just feel like people will get sick of this game and bored of it really, really quickly. I just feel like the game won't have enough content to please people. I think the story isn't going to be able to hold people. There's no origin story. I feel like they've just dived straight into the multiplayer section. I feel like what they should have done is make the first one a more single player based game, just to give people, just to, you know, get people into the story, you know, see what it's about. What are these javelins? Where did they come from? Why are people, what are all these things? What time is it set in? You know, things like that. I mean, there's some collectibles here, but I don't even know what that is. So I got a rare ember. I'm not sure what you do with that, but it's probably a crafting material. But yeah, that's pretty much what you do in free roam, and then so that's my main thing with the game. I just don't think it's gonna have enough to hold people onto it for very long. I think people will lose interest in it very quickly. But that was something that only time will tell, and I will make a review of it actually. I will talk about this game and see how it does, you know, 2 months after release or 5 months after release, and is it still holding on to the same hype? So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think anyway, you know. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment and subscribe as well if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more content. Peace.